Good morning. This is Pastor Jeff. I'm here for our daily lectionary readings. It is Tuesday, July 16th, 2024. The website that I normally choose has changed a lot, so I'm going to try to get accustomed to this, and it might be a little bit of a fumble in the beginning, but we'll see what happens. So we are still going to have our three readings. Psalm 68, 24 through 35 is going to be our psalm reading. We're going to be reading out of the Message. See God on parade to the sanctuary, my God, my King on the march. Singers out front, the band behind, maidens in the middle with castanets. The whole choir blesses God like a fountain of praise. Israel blesses God. Look, little Benjamin's out front and leading. Princes of Judah in their royal robes, princes of Zebulun, princes of Naphtali, parade your power, O God, the power, O God, that made us what we are. Your temple, high God, is Jerusalem. Kings brings gifts to you. Rebuke that old crocodile Egypt with her herd of wild bulls and calves. Rapicus in her lust for silver, crushing people, spoiling for a fight. Let Egyptian traders bring truth blue cloth, and Cush come running to God, her hands outstretched. Sing, O King of the earth, sing praises to the Lord. There he is, the sky rider, striding the ancient skies. Listen, he's calling in thunder, rumbling, rolling thunder. Call out, bravo, to God, the high God of Israel. His splendor and strength rise huge as thunderheads. A terrible beauty, O God, streams from your sanctuary. It's Israel strong. He gives power and might to his people. Oh, you, his people, bless God. And now I'm going to do a little bit of a scroll, and we're coming to our Old Testament reading, which is 2 Samuel chapter 3, verses 12 through 16. Abner went ahead and sent personal messages to David. Make a deal with me, and I'll bring the whole country of Israel over to you. Great, said David. It's a deal, but only on one condition. You're not welcome here unless you bring Michal, Saul's daughter, with you, and when you come to meet me. David then sent messengers to Ishbosheth, son of Saul. Give me back Michal, whom I won as my wife at the cost of 100 Philistine foreskins. Ishbosheth ordered that she be taken from her husband, Paltiel, son of Laish, but Paltiel followed her, weeping all the way to Bahurim. There Abner told him, Go home. And he went home. Then our New Testament reading is going to be from the book of Acts, chapter 23, verses 12 through 35. Next day, the Jews worked up a plot against Paul. They took a solemn oath that they would neither eat nor drink until they had killed him. Over 40 of them ritually bound themselves to this murder pact and presented themselves to the high priest and religious leaders. We bound ourselves by a solemn oath to eat nothing until we have killed Paul. But we need your help. Send a request from the council to the captain to bring Paul so that you can investigate the charges in more detail. We'll do the rest. Before he gets anywhere near you, we'll have killed you. You won't be involved. Paul's nephew, his sister's son, overheard them plotting the ambush. He went immediately to the barracks and told Paul. Paul called over one of the centurions and said, Take this young man to the captain. He has something important to tell him. The centurion brought him to the captain and said, The prisoner Paul asked me to bring this young man to you. He said he has something urgent to tell you. The captain took him by the arm and led him aside privately. What is it? What do you have to tell me? Paul's nephew, said, "The Jews have worked up a plot against Paul. They're going to ask you to bring Paul to the council first thing in the morning on the pretext that they want to investigate the charges against him in more detail. But it's a trick to get him out of your safekeeping so they can murder him. Right now, there are more than 40 men lying in ambush for them. They've all taken a vow to neither eat nor drink until they have killed him. The ambush is set. All they're waiting for is for you to send them over." The captain dismissed the nephew with a warning. "Don't breathe a word of this to a soul." The captain called the 2 centurions. "Get 200 soldiers ready to go immediately to Caesarea. Also, 70 cavalry and 200 light infantry. I want them ready to march by 9 o'clock tonight. And you'll need a couple of mules for Paul and his gear. We're going to present this man, safe and sound, to Governor Felix." Then he wrote this letter: "From Claudius Lysias to the most honorable Governor Felix. Greetings. I rescued this man from a Jewish mob. They had seized him and were about to kill him when I learned that he was a Roman citizen. So I sent in my soldiers, wanting to know what he had done wrong. I had brought him before the council. It turned out to be a squabble, turned vicious over some of the religious differences, but nothing remotely criminal. The next thing I knew, they had cooked up a plot to murder him. I decided that for his own safety, I'd better get him out of here in a hurry. So I'm sending him to you. I'm informing his accusers that he's now under your jurisdictions." The soldiers followed the orders, took Paul that same night to safety in Antipatris. In the morning, the soldiers returned to their barracks in Jerusalem, sending Paul on to Caesarea under the guard of the cavalry. The cavalry entered Caesarea and handed Paul and the letter over to the governor. After reading the letter, the governor asked Paul what province he came from, and he was told Cilicia. Then he said, "I'll take up your case when your accusers show up." He ordered him locked up for the meantime in King Herod's officials' quarters. And here ends our readings for today.